The Nintendo Switch 2 Direct has happened, and so now we know everything that Nintendo is expecting to release within this year and a little bit into 2026. So one of the first things to touch on is obviously the Switch 2 itself, which will be priced at a whopping $450 for just the console. And if you want to get the bundle that includes the latest Mario Kart game, you can expect to pay $500 if you're in the States. This price seems to be within a very wide range, depending on where you're at. I feel really bad for anyone in Canada who might have to pay upwards of $700 to get that same bundle. And yeah, if you're in Japan, you're gonna pay about like $340 or something for it. So the prices are a little bit hard to swallow in this economy. But for the price, you do get a much bigger screen size, a lot more storage, and HDR. Plus you do get the ability to do the 4K, probably AI upscaling for your TV. So is this a good deal if you were someone in the market for a Switch, and are you willing to pay the same price as a PS5 or a Steam Deck for the newest Switch? Will that answer change once you look at the prices of the games that you'll have to get for the system? Now right now we only know the price of 2 first-party Nintendo games that will be coming out for the Switch 2 and the Switch 2 only, and those are $80 and $70 respectively, so this is going to be a pretty expensive era for gaming for Nintendo fans. But before we get into pricing too much, we do have some things to talk about for the Switch system itself. The first one being probably the main gimmick for this one, and that is the chat feature. So essentially this seems to just bring Discord onto your Switch natively, and that's pretty neat. Since you can't really share your Switch screen even if it is docked to, say, a computer, it is nice that this is a way to share your gameplay footage with others, but at the cost of going at like 7 frames a second. The footage that they were showing gave us a real look at what will happen if you try and share your Mario Kart gameplay with your friends, and that is very choppy and laggy gameplay footage, but at least they're not sugarcoating it. That one thing you can always rest assured that Nintendo is not doing. But overall, if you just look at the fact that you can natively go in and chat with up to 3 other people, that is pretty cool. And Nintendo seems to finally be coming up to the modern era of gaming and realizing that people might not be able to do couch co-op and talk in the same room together. They might need a little help. So I am hoping that maybe if you are someone with a better internet or Wi-Fi connection, that it kind of smooths out a bit, but I'm not gonna hold my breath just in case, because I don't want to be too disappointed. So I'm not really going to be relying on that. Now, one thing that I'm for sure skipping is the camera add-on. I don't see the point in it. When I'm playing games, I really don't want to be seen on camera. If I did, I would be streaming my webcam to Discord whenever I play. Even when I stream games on Twitch and YouTube, I use a PNG tuber. And when you look at the footage that they were even using themselves to showcase what is probably the best results that they have, the full camera seemed kind of low quality, and when you did the background removal, it looked rough. So it's cute that you can use it to kind of be in the games with your favorite characters, but I don't like it. I find it kind of weird and will personally be skipping that. It is also $50, and there doesn't seem to be a bundle that includes it in anything. There only seems to be those 2 bundle options, so this is an easy skip for me. It doesn't seem like it's going to be necessary for any games. Now, the new Joy-Cons do look promising. They will hopefully have no Joy-Con drift this time, and the magnets seem to be pretty stable, and so hopefully you won't be losing any Joy-Cons. The original Switch 1 had issues with the railings becoming loose and Joy-Cons not snapping on fully. Hopefully that isn't a problem because magnets don't have that issue. The mouse feature seems to be a really good stepping stone for more games such as the point-and-click genres that really couldn't make their way onto the original Switch due to just the limitations of the controls, so hopefully that opens up that entire genre to be able to be ported over to the Switch 2. And I'm expecting a lot of first-party Nintendo titles to use this for at least the first year or 2. We can already see it in the wheelchair basketball. The game itself seems kind of dull with its coloring, but the controls seem super fun. And also we saw it in the Mario Party expanded version where you can use the mouse for your mini games, which will be very nice. So I do think that it can be utilized quite well. We'll just see how much it gets utilized. We'll see if it becomes more like the AR feature in the original one, or if it actually gets some good usage. Now, the game share is really nice. We've had stuff like this for Steam already, to where you only need one copy of the game. If it's multiplayer, you can just kind of share it with a friend, even if they're not in the same room. And that will make multiplayer games a lot easier, both financially and just logistically, because not everyone's going to be able to drop, say, $40 on a new game to play with you, and just having to buy one copy, maybe you can split it and you each only pay $20 and you get to play the game together. So I'm really glad that Nintendo is once again getting up to date with gaming trends and kind of what is expected nowadays. This seems to kind of tie into the game sharing thing that they had talked about in the previous direct about sharing games. It seems to be finally starting to hit them that people share games, which is great because a lot of these games are going to be probably pretty high on people's budgets, and so being able to share them will be preferable. And probably one of the things that people are most thrilled about is with the introduction of the Switch 2, there will also be the introduction of GameCube to the NSO. Now, I never had a GameCube growing up. That was just not a game system that we had in the house. I just missed it being born in '99. But because of that, I never had the nostalgic connection with all of these really good games that people praise every single day. So I might actually be upgrading to the expanded version of NSO for at least like a couple months whenever I eventually get the Switch 2 to play some of these games, because there's stuff like Wind Waker, there's both of the GameCube Pokemon games, and Chibi Robo, and that is only the first wave of games. There's obviously more to come later in the future, so it might make me cave and get the expanded for a bit. I never was expecting Nintendo to just come out with these big hitters. We also get Sunshine back if you didn't get the physical 3-pack edition, so I'm very excited. Now that is it for kind of the features that are going to be on the new Switch. Another thing that they kind of showcase is the Switch 2 editions and the ports. Now the Switch 2 enhanced editions are something that will probably be debatable for some people. Now, of course, there are games that get these enhanced little versions that might improve the frame rate or maybe improve the graphics, make it a bit smoother. Games like Pokemon are going to get them, very needed, and hopefully that will kind of make it better to play. A lot of people suffered from motion sickness with Scarlet and Violet, so yeah, that game needs all the help it can get. But there are enhanced versions with upgrade packs that you can get, and those are probably going to be that $80 if you're getting it fresh on the Switch 2, or you can probably spend $10-20 depending on the game, people have been saying, to just get the upgrade card if you already have the Switch 1 version. Now, some of them are probably going to be debatable. I think if you're new to one of the Zelda games that they have, it might be nice to have that little Zelda notes feature. If you're going to be a completionist and find all the Korok seeds and all the shrines, I think that can be a great tool. I'm probably going to skip it though. I'm probably also going to skip the Mario Party expansion, even though it seems cool. It just seems like more ways to get to play mini games, and that's only going to last me so long. I am tempted with the Kirby expanded pack though, because I love Kirby and anything new for Kirby is going to get me at some point. But yeah, some of these are actually going to be kind of pack-ins if you are already an NSO subscriber, so some of these might be free. I'm not sure if all of them are, but I think someone said that both of the Zeldas do come with it, so you might save some money there if you're already an NSO subscriber, get some usage out of that. It's kind of hard to squeeze out. There are a lot of ports coming to this new system that we would have never even thought about on the original Switch hardware, because everyone said it chugs even for optimized games. So who would have thought we would be getting Elden Ring on this handheld by Nintendo? We'll also be getting the sequel to Hades, which I think is kind of poetic. We got Hades 1 on Switch 1, and now we get Hades 2 on Switch 2. I just think that makes sense. And we also get a new Bravely Default game with Bravely Default's Flying Fairy. I had never heard of this game. As someone who has never played a Bravely Default game, I only thought there was 1 and 2, and I'd never even heard of this one. So yay Bravely Default fans who are also Nintendo simps. but it seems to fall right in line with the core mechanics from what I saw, and so enjoy your adventure. And I think I saw online that this is $40. So we do have that wide range of prices for these things, so that is gonna be good. We also have, somehow, Yakuza 0. You can finally play a Yakuza game on Switch. I don't think any of them came to the original Switch. We also are getting Borderlands 4 and Cyberpunk plus DLC. These are huge games that no one would have thought would be able to run on handheld. Some of them even struggled on the Steam Deck and other of those handheld computers like the ROG Ally. So seeing the footage and seeing it actually run smoothly, I'm hoping that they will look and run well when people actually get their hands on the console. I just think that this is a bigger upgrade than people might have thought, because who would have thought that Elden Ring, Cyberpunk, and Borderlands would be able to run on Switch? And of course, now we go into the games that will be brand new to the Switch too. And the first one is obviously the option that might be a packing game if you're probably smarter with your money, because then it's only $50 instead of $80. That is Mario Kart World. This game looked amazing. I'm a fan of Mario Kart, but I'm not like a fan of Mario Kart. But this game, it looked gorgeous. The world looks huge. The new modes seem really fun, and the free roaming means that they probably put a lot of effort into the world, I hope. And just being able to race with so many people and have all the different modes will be fun. I personally think that this is the most innovative Mario Kart has been since Double Dash. So I'm really hoping that people enjoy it, and many are looking at that price tag wondering if it's worth it. A lot of people have speculated maybe there'll be free DLC with it. I also hope that for the price, because $80 is pretty steep, especially in this economy right now. A lot of people can't just drop $80 for a game. So if you can really just maximize the value of that, I think that would be best, and I think you would get more people playing it, because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was one of the, if not best-selling Switch games on the original console, and that itself was a port from the Wii U. So people love this franchise. It is family-friendly, it is fun, anyone can play it no matter if you've played video games all your life or you've never picked up a controller in your life. So I think they need to really make sure that this is a hit, and we will have to see. And I already see a lot of content creators potentially making challenges out of different modes, knockouts maybe with only bananas or only mushrooms, or free roaming and you play hide and seek maybe. I see a lot of content being able to be squeezed from this game, so I do think many people will buy it and enjoy it. And for $80, it better have that Nintendo polish. Now, the next game, I didn't connect with the franchise at all, because one, I haven't played any of them, and that is 𝔬𝕗𝕟. The first game that I saw from this series was on the Switch 1, and it looked terrible, and people said it ran terribly, it wasn't fun, it was just a bad game overall. So whenever I was watching the direct, I saw the mechs and like the really cool fight scenes and everything, and I thought that it was maybe like Armored Core coming over. I haven't played that game either, so I just saw the mechs and just assumed. And so when I saw eventually the 𝔬𝕗𝕟 title come on, I was really surprised. This game looks really fun. And I'm kind of hoping that it's really good and that people play it and like it, because I never like to see a franchise just continually get thrown away because people don't like it. I like to see franchises succeed even if I have no idea what they're about. So this looked fun. Honestly, big mechs flying around, fighting things, that seems kind of hard to go wrong. So I might even pick this up eventually on the system, who knows? Now, I have only gotten into Zelda with the introduction of Breath of the Wild, and I have really enjoyed it. I've really only played through Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I kind of got stuck with the other two, the chibi Zelda games on Switch. I couldn't get into them as much as the 3D open world ones, and I've also not played any of the Warriors / like Striker-esque games. So when I saw that we're getting a new Zelda game taking place when Zelda goes back in time in Tears of the Kingdom, I was thrilled. I was so excited. We get another Zelda game to where we play as Zelda. I was so happy. And then I will admit, the wind kind of got taken out of my sail whenever I saw that it was a Warriors game, but I've only heard good things about the second Warriors game, which is the actual like quote unquote good one that's canon to the story. I do kind of need to play that one too, but honestly, this newest one, Age of Imprisonment, looks really good, and of course it is also canon, so I feel like I need to play it because I really want to know what happens to Zelda during that time. So in the end, I'm still really happy about this game. I would have loved it if she got like her own full kind of game like Tears of the Kingdom, but you take what you can get from Nintendo. And one that might get overlooked by a lot of people is Survival Kids. And I am actually looking forward to this game because it is a multiplayer survival crafting game, and my friend group really just loves those games. We binge it for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, burn ourselves out on it, do all of the content we can, and then we drop it and maybe come back to it 6 months later. But this seems like one of those. It has crafting, you have to like build stairs to get around this island that you're stranded on, you can fish, you can cook, you have to eat. I want to know, is there stamina, hunger? Like there seems to be a lot of stuff. Of course, there's a bunch of crafting that you can do. So it seems right up my group's alley. So I am actually looking forward to this game, and I kind of expect a lot of people to look over this one because there was just big game after big game after big game, and this is kind of, it's a cute little survival crafting game. So I do expect people to overlook Survival Kids, but I'm excited for it. And of course, I never thought we would see a day to where a FromSoft game was exclusively on a Nintendo console. They just don't seem to overlap audiences, in my opinion, when I think of them. So the fact that we're getting a exclusive game just for Switch 2 is kind of crazy, and the Duskbloods look really, really good. A lot of people were saying that it gave them like thoughts of, oh, is this Bloodborne 2? The trailer did leave me with more questions than answers. In my reaction, I was just questioning a bunch of stuff like, this seems like our playable character. Are we friends with these other people? Are they enemies? Are they trying to kill us? Do we have to try and kill them? What's the goal? I have a lot of questions, but that just makes me want to play it more so that I can get my answers. The atmosphere and everything, the graphics, none of it looked like it was being held back because it was on a Switch 2. So that is really reassuring that this system is actually up to par with the standards of gaming nowadays in 2025. And since people are saying that it's probably going to be 10 years with this system, we really needed to be able to kind of stand the test of time and play these modern games well. And like I mentioned earlier, I never had a GameCube, so I was never able to play games like Kirby Air Ride, but I've only heard good things about it. And so in a way, I have the chance to kind of play it because Sakurai is back with Kirby Air Riders, and I don't know what to expect because I've never played Kirby Air Ride, but people were super excited, and I am a huge fan of the Kirby franchise. I actually have a Waddle Dee that always sits on my desk. I just love Waddle Dee. There's actually, you can also see my Kirby plush back here. I really love Kirby, and also there's a Kirby blanket somewhere over for decoration. But I really like the Kirby franchise. So anything Kirby related, I'm probably going to get, and I'm probably going to enjoy. Now, I did save my favorite game for last, which is also the game that the Direct ended on. And I have been someone who has been saying, begging, pleading for a new Donkey Kong game for years, because I think that that series has such potential, and my prayers have gone unanswered until yesterday, when the Direct announced that we are getting a brand new Donkey Kong game. Donkey Kong Bonanza, and he looks different. He's gotten like a revamp. Some people might not like it. I like the style. I like him like this. And the gameplay looks immaculate. The world looks gorgeous. The colors look beautiful. You can basically destroy everything you see. Being able to dig underground and throw stuff, being able to break the ground to get a rock to demolish stuff around you. There's inclusions of little 2D sections. This game just looks incredible. This might be the game that pushes me to get the Switch 2, because I kind of wanted to hold off just due to the really expensive price tag, and I've kind of been into Pokemon cards lately. So I kind of have to pick one obsession at a time. But this game looks too good to pass up. It is coming the month following the Switch, which the Switch is coming out June 5th. I was not expecting a summer release date. I'm going to out myself in saying that I thought it was going to be a November holiday release era window. I was not expecting it during the summer. So I am completely unprepared for this financially and mentally. And the fact that Donkey Kong comes out in July, I believe July 14th, it's too soon. But I really want them because they look so good. And this one is actually $70. So once again, a high price tag, but at least it's not that $80. Some people were saying even $90. So it's going to be a tough year financially, a tough couple of years financially as a Nintendo fan. It's gonna be a lot of money put into the Switch initially, because you got $500 for the bundle to get the Switch and a game, and then $70 for Donkey Kong and whatever other games you want, because there was just good game after good game after good game. But the high price tag, unless the third party is actually a really reasonable price, I will probably be sticking to the Nintendo only, the exclusive titles for the Switch 2, because my wallet just can't do that, especially with all the Steam sales. It's just too good to pass up. I do hope that the UI gets some improvements. It looks basically nearly identical to the Switch 1. We have no folders, we have no background images. Like, the thing that I love most about the PS4 is I have my lovely Dragon Quest background to kind of hype me up, and it's pretty to look at. But with my Switch, I just have a white background behind my games. So overall, I loved this Direct. Looking back at it and scrolling through it to get my thoughts together for this kind of rambling of a video, it wasn't as put together as I kind of wanted it to be. But I wasn't disappointed going back through it. I'm just realizing logistically how expensive this is gonna cost. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm sticking to my plan of holding off maybe a bit, but it's gonna be so hard because with all the improvements for the Switch 2 compared to the Switch 1 and a bunch of games that I'm really looking forward to, like Mario Kart, the new Donkey Kong game, Pokemon ZA, which I would much rather play on a console that is just better because I'm really worried. It's gonna be hard to not try and drop $500 on this thing. But yeah, that covers everything that I thought was really interesting. I skipped a lot of like the sizzle reel stuff and stuff that was talked about in last week's Direct because I do have a video covering that stuff already, so I didn't want to kind of talk about it twice. But basically, overall, I give this Direct a 10 out of 10. It had amazing games. The Switch 2 seems like it's really going to be a success because it seems like it has that power to carry through to modern gaming. I think with the immense success of the Switch 1, the third-party developers are going to be more amped to collaborate with the Switch and Nintendo, and we're going to have a lot of good support. So I'm really looking forward to what's coming up for Nintendo. It might actually make me go back to playing my Nintendo games, because I'm gonna be honest, with Steam and having a Steam Deck and everything, I have kind of been neglecting my Switch, and yeah, maybe this will make me break out my original Switch and get through some of the games before its sequel comes out. So that's gonna wrap up the video for today. Leave in the comments below, what is your favorite announcement from the Direct? What are your thoughts on the Switch pricing? And do you think you will try and get this at launch, or will you also try to hold out for maybe a price cut or maybe a equivalent to the Redbox Switch? There's a lot of questions surrounding the Switch, and I know a lot of people have a lot of thoughts about it, so I would love to hear yours in the comments down below. I do read every comment, so yes, give me your thoughts. And if you think I did a good job in this rambling video, give me a thumbs up. It keeps my videos on your For You page. I can entertain you more the more videos you watch. And if you want to go the extra mile, hit subscribe so you don't lose me in the sea of YouTube content. And with that, I'm going to wrap up this video and get to editing it, and hopefully I will see you guys in a future video, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Bye guys.